In this video, I'm going to share with you how to instantly be more confident, and it's all backed by science. What if I told you that confidence isn't something that you're born with, but it's actually something that you could build? And when you do, it can change everything. Whether you're trying to close that sales deal, land your dream job, or simply chase your dreams, confidence is going to be the secret weapon to help you get ahead. And today I'm going to walk you through the actual science of confidence with real research-backed methods that you can use right away. Because it's time that you stop doubting yourself and start showing up as the most powerful version of you. Tip number 3 is actually my favorite, so make sure you check in on that one. Now listen, I have performed magic on the streets to random strangers. I performed on some of the biggest stages in Las Vegas for thousands of people. I've spoken at conferences, been on TV, taught in classrooms, but none of that would have been possible without understanding how to build confidence. So let's get into the real work and what you can do to start building your confidence right now. To begin this journey, we want to start with the psychology of confidence. And I think we often get confused by what confidence is, and we think that it just simply means having an abundance of fearlessness. But in reality, it's the ability to act despite fear. That's what makes confidence. Research out of Harvard shows that body language, how you sit, stand, or even carry yourself, can increase testosterone and lower cortisol. That means that your brain is listening to your body, and we can use that to our advantage to develop our confidence. So you want to start by opening up your posture, lifting up your chest, and looking people in the eyes when you speak to them. Because the lesson here is your physiology changes your psychology. And this isn't just theory here. These are things that I've used in high stakes situations, either before performances, difficult conversations, and even interviews. In fact, one of the things that I've done before going on stage for really large audiences, because my nerves were so high, my blood pressure was rising, I would do push-ups and workouts before I went on stage. Because the idea was I wanted to be in control of my body. So what I was doing was making sure that I was in control of my blood pressure. I was giving myself the pump and not allowing my body to be responsive to my nerves. So if you have to go on stage and you feel a little nervous, you feel your heart racing, do some push-ups, try some jumping jacks. It's a fun little trick that I think will work nicely for you. Simply put you back in control. Let's take this a little bit further with this idea of NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. And Tony Robbins talks about it in this great book called Awaken the Giant Within. And it's a book that I highly recommend. It's linked down below if you wanted to check it out. In this book, he explains how the language we use or the questions we ask ourselves, so even the mental movies that we play in our mind, impact us. And it can literally change the way we feel and the way we act. And one of the ways that I started utilizing this is changing the mental movies that I was playing in my head before I went on stage. Oftentimes I would spend my time thinking about what's the worst possible thing that can happen, that I'm gonna make a mistake, I'm gonna drop something, or I'm gonna look silly. And what I did is I started visualizing that everything would go perfectly, that everyone's gonna laugh at the right time, that nothing's gonna fall, there's not gonna be any mistakes, that everything goes perfectly smooth. And what I noticed is that while that movie was playing in my head, my body and my posture started aligning to it. My tone changed, my breathing slowed, and I stepped on stage ready to rock. NLP teaches you if you can change your thoughts, language, and focus, you can change your state. And as I mentioned before, that physiology will really impact your psychology. All right, let's talk about number 2, and this is called exposure therapy. And this is how small wins can really build unshakable confidence. Now, I don't want you to get stuck on this idea that confidence is something you can simply think your way to. That's not the case. Confidence is something that you earn through experience. It's in the doing that we build confidence. And in psychology, that's called exposure therapy. And it's the idea of doing something deliberately over and over again until your brain stops treating that situation like something dangerous. Stanford researchers have found that repeated action, even in small doses, actually rewires your brain. So what once felt threatening now kind of feels normal. And I really love how Alex Hormozi puts it. He says that confidence is built through evidence. So you got to stack small wins and collect receipts along the way. And the reason why you do this is because now you're not faking confidence. You're literally just keeping a track record. And there's a number of ways you can do this in your life. You can do micro credentials. If you're trying to go to the gym, get small wins every day. But it's these little 1% moves that eventually add up and compound over time that lead to exponential growth. But you just have to remember that every rep matters. Whether it's introducing yourself to someone new, sharing a piece of your work online, or even doing something uncomfortable like asking for feedback. For me, I was fortunate because early in my career, I started saying yes to things that kind of scared me. And sometimes that was performing in weird environments or teaching unfamiliar topics or in unfamiliar places. But I really started stacking those wins. They really just compounded over time, and now I don't have to fake confidence. I just have to remember who I've become. So right now, I want you to think about what is one small rep that you can take that your future self would thank you for, and drop it in the comments below. I'm gonna hold you accountable to that one. All right, here's number 3, and this one is my absolute favorite. Probably the thing that literally changed my life. If confidence feels unnatural to you, here's the trick. don't be you. At least not at first. Somewhere in life, we started telling ourselves these stories about who we are, that we've kind of like defined ourselves. But you are whoever you want to be. Like, you don't have to be stuck in whatever life you think you got to be stuck in. You can recreate your life at any moment. And it's not just something I've done. Celebrities have done this for many years. Beyonce had Sasha Fierce. Kobe Bryant had Black Mamba. LeBron James has King James. And early in my career, everyone called me Six. I created that identity because I didn't feel confident as me yet. But Six, now he was bold. He could take the stage and blow anybody's mind. And that persona really just allowed me to grow into the real me. And to this day, like, my closest friends still call me Six. It's still a huge part of who I am. And when I used to work in El Salvador with Magicians Without Borders, we would teach this to our students. We would do activities where they would get to create this alter ego of themselves. They didn't have to be stuck in who they were. They can redefine themselves. They can become a character on stage and really own that. And I watched kids who were shy and quiet all of a sudden become these great leaders on stage. And this works because your brain responds to identity. You act like the person you believe you are. So create that person and step into that role. So here's your challenge. Name your alter ego. Design them, dress like them, breathe like them, and then show up as them. And if you need help, use AI, ChatGPT. Put your life story in there and let it help you build it out. Always in the state of becoming. Choose wisely. I want to talk about something right now that actually kills confidence and what you can do to stop it. And if you want to know the fastest way to lose confidence, it's overthinking. You replay it in your mind, you hesitate, you start future tripping, and the moment's gone. That's why I use what's called the 1 second rule. When you feel the urge to act, you have 1 second to make the move. And I say that because if you sit there, your brain is going to start trying to talk you out of it. So you have to get up and make some motion towards what you're trying to do before it happens. So if you want to approach somebody and start a conversation, do it right away. Don't give any time for thinking. Allow the mistakes to come from that. But if you sit there and start processing, that's where the overthinking kicks in, and it's always going to win. Mel Robbins actually has some great research on this, and she calls it the 5 second rule. And for her, it's a way that you can disrupt fear pathways in your mind and actually create momentum. And it goes something like this. So again, same scenario. Maybe you're about to do something, or you want to do something, you want to ask a question, but you're feeling nervous. The trick here is to simply count down from 5 and then do it. So don't go into overthinking. Don't ask questions. Just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise your hand, start walking. Take that action. But I want to give you a second method here, and it's kind of similar to something I spoke about earlier. Next time you're feeling doubt, what I want you to do is this. Kind of play like you're a highlight reel in your brain. Think of 5 moments that you were really proud of yourself for taking action. Think about the times you crushed it, the times you showed up, the times you were bold. I call this stacking confidence on command. What this does is it reminds your nervous system like, yo, we've been here before, we've done this before, we got this. I use this all the time before I step on stage or before a big performance. I play my mental highlight reel, get myself hyped up, and it's a tool that I think you're really gonna like. Give it a shot. And one of the ways that you can be prepared for this, because I think in the moment it's challenging, is spend some time tonight. Use a few minutes to just jot down 5 things you're really proud of and keep that in your wallet. Write it down on a piece of paper. And next time you feel like you're in that moment, go to that piece of paper, read those to yourself, and then jump into action. All right, I promised you immediate results, so it's time to get in the game and take some action. If you got a pen or paper nearby, grab it. Now's the time. What I want you to do is this. Number 1. Write down one small action that makes you hesitate, something you want to overcome. Put it on that piece of paper. If you have a couple, great, even better, the more the better. But for now, start with one. What is one thing you want to try to overcome immediately? Number 2, think about which methods we've covered in this video that you think will best support you in that moment. It could be the NLP, the alter ego, the physiology, or even the highlight reel. Which one do you think fits best in that scenario? Write it down. And number 3, it's time for that exposure therapy. You have to put yourself out there. So try to go ahead and get yourself into that situation today. Is there a way that you can face that challenge and put one of these methods into practice? Because life is not about getting lucky. And if you want to get lucky, understand this. Luck is simply when preparation meets opportunity. Confidence is a magic. It's a muscle. And every time you use it, it's going to grow stronger. Confidence changed my life, and it helped me chase dreams I never thought were possible. And I want that for you too. So hit that subscribe button if you want to learn more, and I'll see you in the next episode.